United States Merchant Marine. United States Army. United States Navy. United States Coast Guard. United States Air Force. United States Space Force. United States Marine Corps.
From that moment on, it went from chaos to catastrophe to calamity. And now the infantry troops were starting to land. In the midst of utter confusion, their only hope was to get across that beach and up the embankment on the other side. The tankers, who had suddenly become infantry, took weapons from the bodies of men who had already died, tried to help out where they could, and tried to move forward. Smoke and noise and the screams of the wounded were everywhere. A new crisis occurred every single minute as they saw friends and comrades being butchered before their eyes. They had to get off of that beach. This scene went on for hours, and we all know what those hours took in terms of human life. The movie was called The Longest Day for a reason. My father survived the carnage for another 14 hours, later hiding with his first sergeant among the brush about halfway up the embankment. And they were waiting for it to get darker. When it did, I'm told that my father moved forward first. He tripped a mine that had been planted there by Rommel's troops. The explosion instantly ended his life. A lot of good men from a number of the Allied countries were killed on the D-Day landings. My father, I think, was one of those good men. He was a senior at Georgetown University, right down the road here, when Pearl Harbor was attacked. And like so many men and women across the nation, they stopped what they were doing. He and a friend left school and enthusiastically enlisted. He was in training in the United States when I was born and was killed on D-Day before I was 2 years old. I never heard his voice. I have no memory of him. To say that his absence was the most significant factor in my life would be a complete and honest truth. I am standing here today, but I represent roughly 180,000 children who lost fathers in World War II. And if any of them were here, each of them would tell you a version of the same story. Today here in America, despite the internal problems we are facing, and which we have faced for the past 80 years, we enjoy more luxuries and advantages than any country in the history of the world. And it's a shame so many take them for granted. But our freedoms have been continued and protected by those boys who entered Europe in 1944 and by those who fought in the Pacific. All of them returned as men. We also owe our freedoms to the thousands of soldiers who didn't return, who are buried in their hometowns or in national cemeteries across the United States. And those whose remains lie under white marble crosses in Normandy, the Normandy American Cemetery, and 14 others across Europe, North Africa, and the Philippines. May we remember them. May we never forget what it took to win that war, and always honor their lost young lives by working for the survival of our precious republic and our democratic way of life. Thank you.
Representing the National Park Service, World War II veteran Colonel Frank Cohn, accompanied by National Mall and Memorial Park Superintendent Mr. Jeff Reinbold. Representing Friends of the National World War II Memorial, our Friends of the National World War II Memorial Chair, Mrs. Jane Dropa, Board Member, Retired Navy Rear Admiral John Bidoff, and Friends Resident Historian Alex Kershaw. Representing Denmark is Defense Attaché Rear Admiral Jakob Rousseau. Representing France is Deputy Chief of Mission Orle Bonal and Naval Attaché Captain Jean-Olivier Grau. Representing Greece is Defense Attaché Brigadier General Panagiotis Lakopoulos. Representing the Netherlands is military attaché Colonel Peter Nieuwenhuis. Representing Norway is Defense Attaché Major General Harold Hagen. Representing the Republic of Poland is Deputy Chief of Mission, Mr. Adam Przewodnicki. Representing all our allied nations are United States Director, Ms. Ventress Gibson, Maritime Administration Deputy Associate Administrator for Commercial Sea Lift, Ms. Melinda Simmons-Healy, and Chaplain Will Horton.